All right, let's take a look at this cartoon and describe it and talk about what we see. There's a lot happening here. Okay, so if I have to choose one word to summarize what I see, I would say the word reckless, imprudent. Reckless, it means that you're doing things which can cause other people harm or yourself harm. So your actions can hurt people, cause problems. All right, so let's go into detail. I see a person who is texting while driving. It looks like they have a phone which is a little bit older. It's not like a brand new one. A little bit older technology. I still see people with it sometimes, with their thumbs flying like crazy. Okay, so the person is driving and texting at the same time. And on the screen of the phone, it says, "I'm driving home. What are you up to?" Right? And they're using texting language, which is very short and sweet and very direct to the point. So they didn't put the apostrophe in I'm, and instead of spelling out what and are and you, they just used what are you up to. And what are you up to is just a way to say, what are you doing? How are you? How have you been? Something like that. Okay, so they're very focused on their phone and their hands are on the top of the steering wheel, but their eyes are not looking out in the road. They're looking at the phone, they're texting. They're probably waiting for a response or they're typing in the words right now. Okay, so out inside the car, there's probably lovely, peaceful music going on. Outside the car, people are screaming. Things are crashing. There's chaos. Let's see. Still inside the car, at least the part that we can see. Up here we have the rear view mirror. And we can see a guy who's shaking his fist. He's like, ah. So there's someone behind the person in this car really pissed off because this person is not driving carefully. Maybe they almost hit them. Maybe they swerved in front of them. Swerve means to quickly turn, quickly change the position of your car to swerve. And the person behind them is very upset because they could have caused an accident. So in front of them is where the current action is happening. Let's see. Well, we'll start from left to right. We have an old lady who's screaming with her mouth open. She's wearing glasses and her arms are up and she's like, ah! Her legs are kicked out because she's trying to get out of the way of this crazy car. Looks like she was carrying groceries and a cane. This is the cane to help her walk. But because she's trying to save her life and get out of the way of this reckless driver, this crazy driver who's going to hurt people, she moves like really fast. Okay? Here we can see a guy in a white car. He's cringing. Cringing is like, you're like, oh, because you're anticipating something bad is going to happen. And he's cringing because this car is directly lined up to smash into him, to crash into him. So he's like, right? He may not have time to move. Maybe there's a car in front of him, or maybe his car isn't even turned on yet, and this car is coming straight for him. And here we have part of a stop sign. So maybe the person ran over the stop sign and they just keep going. They're probably texting, thump, thump, oh well, keep on texting, right? Above the white car, there is a cone. We could say a construction cone, maybe an emergency cone, but it's just for showing us where we should be driving. But this person, who cares? They just drove straight through, knocked the cone up in the air. The cone is flying. Same with the lady's possessions, her cane. The things are flying up in the air. All right. To the right, we have a bicycle, and it looks like there's a leg there. So there's probably a cyclist, a person who's riding the bike. They're also flying up in the air, and there's someone somewhere up above the car out of view. But since we have stars here, usually in comics, that means there was some sort of impact. There was something that hit something else. So there's a lot going on in this cartoon. If I summarized, I would say a reckless driver is too busy texting to see what's going on in front of him or her. I don't know if it's a man or a woman who's driving. And in front of the car, they're hitting everything. they're smashing into everything and about to be in a major car accident. Okay, so I suppose the message of this cartoon is don't text while driving. It's reckless, dangerous, hazardous, and not a good idea. I imagine this person's insurance, their insurance rates must be high because if they're texting like this, they've probably done it before, and it's possible that they've also had accidents before. Okay, don't text while you're driving.